Hello and welcome to Real Estate 360, the show all about real estate investing.
Yes, sir. My name is Jason Myles, hashtag the real estate trainer.
Hashtag the real estate trainer, and he is really damn good at it.
And you are, sir?
I am Steve Connolly.
Today. Who are you today?
Today I am Brigadier General.
Yes, sir.
Real estate investor, Steve Connolly.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. And hashtag unemployable, except for this, guerrilla real estate investing job that I have here.
But you created that for yourself.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And so I'm
W-2 and all.
Maybe you should tell him about the uniform.
I don't know where to start.
There we go. All right. I am ready for action.
Let me tell you, guys, if you are listening to this on the radio, you've got to see this firsthand. So make sure you go to the Real Estate 360 channel on YouTube. By the way.
Dale, is it okay if I stand up? All right, your video, okay. All right.
By the way, thank you for everyone that listens on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, all of those platforms for the podcast. Make sure that you continue as well to engage with us. Let us know what you think. Subscribe, share, do all that great stuff. But by all means, go to the YouTube channel, Real Estate 360.
Hey,
you got to see it.
We got to have some fun here, and we can't take ourselves too seriously. Richard Branson is one of my idols, and he owns companies, and then he runs around and he'll put a bunny costume on.
Yes, he will.
And, step out of his G5 or whatever that is, whatever jet he's in at the moment.
Yeah, he does own an airline.
Yes.
Could be anything.
Could be anything, exactly. So, but then he promotes those businesses. But, the guy doesn't get caught up in his ego.
No.
And I loved it when he poured a cup of water over Mark Cuban
yeah.
on Shark Tank. Mark's all full of himself, He thinks he knows everything just because he's made some money.
Yeah.
But he doesn't. Nobody does.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Branson's a good guy. He's definitely a down-to-earth individual.
Yeah.
And you can learn a lot from him just by listening to him speak. I'm a big fan of the distance mentor.
Oh, yeah.
You'd love to have an opportunity to sit down and just have a conversation with some of these people, or just follow them around for a week or a year, or 20 years like Napoleon Hill.
Right.
Right. But that's just not realistic for most of us. So we have to really be creative in how we learn from these people. And we do that by watching them, listening to them, see what they do, and then modeling what we see and hear.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he's a great guy to do it with. I mean, this guy has truly made his mark in the world financially. In other ways as well.
Right.
But, hey, not everybody can go buy an island.
Now, somebody, exactly. But he got a deal,
I'm sure he did. Where's the value add play there, right?
You know that story, don't you?
No.
No, he was there, and he found out the island was for sale for a lot of money. I mean, millions.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact numbers. But so he said, well, I've got $175,000 in cash. I'll just offer that.
Right.
Oh, now those are probably not the right numbers, but the contrast was huge, the difference. And so he gave it to the realtor, and the realtor said, I'm not going to give him that. You know how realtors are.
That's right.
And he said, no, just give it to him. Let's see what happens. So anyway, they ended up having a conversation, and, we know the end of the story. He owns that island.
That's right.
Who knows what happened in the end? Did he get it for that price? Maybe.
Or
sometimes cash is king.
That's for sure in the negotiation process. But that's a perfect segue into what we're talking about today.
Exactly.
Guerrilla investing.
Yeah.
I mean, how much more guerrilla can you get than that?
I gotta lose this helmet. And probably change my glasses.
Well, be careful. There's shrapnel flying around.
Oh yeah, no, I got it. So for those of you who are just listening, that's just a clue as to the appearance going on here. Well, listen, I brought this too. Just like Pat,
the American Patriots Bible. Now, I know this is real estate, but what's the difference between the American Patriots Bible and the Holy Bible?
Can I be honest with you?
You can.
I have no idea. I got this on the shelf out here, at the station, so I've never seen this before. It's just a prop, It's like, okay, Patton, carried his Bible around.
I get it.
And, when it comes to real estate investing, I would say, I do love this stuff so much. God help me.
That's right. That's
remember,
right. I do.
Remember that line? Okay.
So, Steve, we're here having a real conversation about guerrilla real estate investing, and basically that is being creative and using everything that you can to attack the market, whether it's, whatever your marketing tactic is. Like, one of the best guerrilla tactics, in my opinion, is door knocking when you're looking for properties, right?
Sure.
And that's one that and driving for dollars.
Yeah. Those are your favorites.
Well, I hate the driving for dollars one, right? No. But, does it really get any more guerrilla than that when you're looking for deals?
That is about as guerrilla as it gets.
You're literally coming out of the bushes.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that's the marketing side, but
yeah.
I really wanted to talk about the structure side.
Yeah.
And how do we determine what we do when something shows up?
Well, that, as we were talking about before, it really depends on the circumstances that present themselves to us.
Exactly. What does that mean? Some of you probably heard that, but it went right over, right in one ear and right out the other. What does that mean?
Well, every deal is different. That's the beauty of real estate, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people get stuck into this whole routine, this mundane activity from day to day to day to day. And real estate really isn't that way. There are so many different ways to structure a deal, but it depends on what is shown to us at the time. We can have a deal that comes through and somebody says, look, I just need all cash right now, but their circumstances, once you speak with them, might be a little different. Their need may be a little different than just needing the cash. Maybe you can structure an owner finance. That's just one example, but as you know, it can go in 50 different directions.
At least. It could easily go in 50 different directions.
Yeah, it's an amazing thing because it's never the same thing.
Yeah.
It's never the same thing.
So we're always looking for, where is there any way to earn a profit and solve these folks' problem at the same time, right?
That's right.
And so whatever dictates, so we have a property that shows up, maybe it's no equity.
Yeah.
What do we do then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It could be a subject to deal. It could be a lease option deal. It could be all kind of different things. Generally, that's what those two things are going to be right there. But we have that little chart that we created, the percentage chart. When there's 0 to 51% equity, and so on and so forth, which is a very blanket way of saying, here are 4 or 5 methods that can work given the equity spread in a deal. But again, the person's situation may not dictate what the numbers are telling you to offer.
Yeah.
And that is the amazing thing about real estate. Once you get involved in this, and it doesn't matter what level you're doing it at, it is always going to depend on the other person sitting across from you, what their real need is, and your ability to figure out what that need is and then make the right offer.
Exactly. And a lot of times it's as simple as just asking the right question.
It's always that simple. And listening.
That's right. And listening, that's right.
So many people are too busy trying to be the smartest guy in the room.
Yeah.
When they're trying to make offers and they're telling this person, oh, this is this and that's that, forget that, especially if someone's emotionally attached to that property.
Oh, yeah.
You better sit there and you better listen. You better ask them, which room did you grow up in? Where did you sit for Thanksgiving? That kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Did you have holidays over here? Did you have siblings? Just let the people talk about themselves because that's what they really want to do.
Yeah. Because they're ultimately going to do business with somebody who they like.
That's right.
And the more we listen, the more they'll like us.
That's right.
Generally
speaking.
Yeah, not always.
Because people like to be heard.
Yeah.
It's not a horrible thing. It's just a thing that is. Everyone has a story.
Yeah.
And sometimes that story needs to be told.
Exactly. In Dale Carnegie's book, how to win friends and influence people. He talks about that. He talks about just listening, just ask people questions.
Yeah.
And then you don't actually have to say anything. And then all of a sudden, to them, you're the most interesting person in the room.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because they got to talk about themselves.
Well, that, and you were also holding a Dos Equis.
A Dos Equis. The chairs have switched. The tide has changed. What's this?
That's the beer, the most interesting man in the world.
The Dos Equis.
Yeah, the Dos Equis. You just hold the bottle and be quiet. Smile.
Yes. There you go. And occasionally squeeze your lime.
Or have your monkey do it.
Yeah. Anyway, so listening, that's so critical. People forget they have two ears and one mouth. And a lot of times the mouth is way bigger than the two ears combined.
That's right. That's right. And really all that we're talking about right now is practicing the things that you feed yourself.
We're talking about rapport building.
That's
instantly.
right. That's right. Yeah. But you got to feed yourself for that. And
let's talk about some specific things when we come back from this break.
Let's do that.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833WELLBUY.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español. Llámanos. Call us today.
And welcome back to Real Estate 360.
Yes, we are back. We are back. Now we were talking about a lot of things, but I I know where we're going to go into this, but I just want to say one thing as we start to talk about this. You have to be everyone is intentional with what they feed themselves, mentally.
Yeah.
Emotionally, spiritually. Everyone intends to do the things they do, whether it's spending 4 hours of your night after work watching television or spending that 4 hours building.
What's wrong with that? Are you judging me? I'm sorry.
That's right.
Sorry.
But whatever it is, be intentional with what you feed yourself. If you're going to spend, a bunch of time a week feeding yourself garbage, and I'm talking about about what you feed yourself mentally, what you take in with your eyes and your ears.
Yes.
If you're going to feed yourself garbage, expect garbage to occur in your life. In all honesty, you have to be intentional with what you do so that you can get to where you really want to be. You're going to spend that time doing something. Be productive in your life. If you can go out and give your all to this job, give a little of that time to yourself. So we're talking about these guerrilla tactics. We're going to get into that here and what that actually means. But it's all about taking action. And if you don't educate yourself and really take action and do the things that you want to do, whether it's real estate or anything else,
right?
You're just going to continue to sit on the couch or lay in the bed and watching, whatever reality show is the most popular thing right now every day.
Now, there's nothing wrong with that. Every now and then that might be some downtime, but I really appreciate what you're saying because it is so true to a degree that most people don't even realize it.
Yeah.
And, you're sitting there watching a shoot-up show, Cops and Robbers. You're taking that vibration, you're lining up with that vibrational idea. It must be reflected back to you at some point in your own life.
Yeah.
And so you got to be really, really careful with that.
Yeah.
That's why Andy Griffin looks, pretty good.
Yeah.
Compared to like Nash Bridges.
I mean, people got to take care of themselves, and it starts with your mind.
Yeah,
and
it does.
It does. It starts with your mind. Other people will say it starts with your spirituality or things like that, but you have to think about your spirituality to actually take it in.
And then you have to watch what's going on in your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like the stories, like, I can't find my keys. Well, that's a story.
Mm-hmm.
And then you won't be able to find your keys,
Mm-hmm.
You're that powerful. You can hide your keys even when they're sitting right in front of you.
That's right.
That if you start saying, I always know where my keys are, they always show up.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything shows up when you believe it will.
That's right.
So.
Hey, I'm going to do a shameless plug for it'saboutbelief.com if you don't mind.
Absolutely not.
So I have a website. It's aboutbelief.com. And guess what it's about? It's about belief. So go there and sign up for free. I send out these belief ideas every day about mindset, how to think, what's going on with the physics of reality, and how to get better control of what shows up in your life.
Yeah.
Because, I've been out of control, and my whole life was out of control.
Yeah.
And it was just a reflection of what was in my mind and what my beliefs were, even though I thought they were one thing, but I learned they were not.
Mm.
So
that's the truth, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so just be intentional with the things that you do today, tomorrow, and every day beyond that. Focus on that intention. It doesn't mean you're going to be perfect. None of us are perfect. We all have those moments. Just allow them to be brief moments in your life and get back up and go take action. So let's talk about that.
I appreciate you saying that, and yes, this is a real estate investing show, but it's way, way more than that.
Yeah.
And by creating what you want in your mind, people can literally be, have, and do anything they want.
Mm-hmm.
Most people hear that, and it goes in their ear.
It just did, and I want to say it's be, have, and do.
Does it matter?
No, I'm saying it a little slower because it sounded like one word.
Oh, okay.
What language is he speaking? Be, have, and do. What is that?
Yeah. Sounds like Giuseppe's or something.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's – thank you. Thanks for clarifying that.
I got you.
To me, that's one word.
Be, have, and do.
Sounds almost Scandinavian.
It does.
You speaking Norwegian over there? So, but yeah, you can, because it's all you anyway. This is all you.
Yeah.
And as soon as we recognize that, then your world starts to change, and then you start stepping out. And then you start taking the action because you have the no fear.
Yeah.
In being able to step out. And then you've gotten beyond the no fear into, wow, what's next? What can happen next?
Mm-hmm.
And then something like really crappy shows up, right in front of you, and you say, "Oh, I don't like that." But at the same time, you say, "Wow, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
What is this thing that I would call negative? What's this negative going to lead me to that's super positive?"
Because it's always that.
It is.
We were having a conversation yesterday. It seemed like both of us were having the same day yesterday.
Yeah.
Right?
That's right.
And it was a day where, it's all positive, but it wasn't we were in a valley.
Right.
Right? We were experiencing the valleys of the career. But you have to realize that those are simply just moments. There are things that are going to happen. You can't know one without the other. There is no yin without the yang. There is no good without the bad.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's good or bad.
It's not.
It just is.
It's information.
Yes.
It is the universe's way to show you out there what's going on in your own mind, because we cannot see the forest for our own trees.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to make sure that you're putting yourself in a positive mental light. Everything is just what it is. You choose to be angry or sad or happy, smiling. I mean, it is a choice. It is literally a choice, and if you walk around feeling like choosing to feel bad about a situation, you're, like you said, you're just going to get more of that. Your entire day is going to turn into a piece of crap. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Because you're allowing it to. You're choosing for that to happen. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter if you're homeless. It doesn't matter if you're on top of the world.
Yeah.
You have to make a choice to get to where you want to be. And it's a daily choice. And sometimes it's a moment by moment choice.
Yeah.
Where you really have to be like, I'm choosing to smile. I'm choosing to smile through this right now. It's necessary.
A little story.
I'd love
personal
it if you would.
story.
I'd love it if you would.
So I'm out, up near 400. I'm on one of the cross streets that goes across. I'm getting ready to get on 400, and I'm in a left-hand turn lane, and I turn left in my Buick that has 29,000 miles on it. Hardly any miles. It's a 2011. It's not a new one or anything.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I've got green lights. Both lanes are going. Wham! I get T-boned. It was like, oh, there's a car. Haven't told the story, have I?
Not the whole story. No.
So I just sit there and I'm thinking, where'd this come from? That's my first question. I'm not blaming her. Yeah, she ran the red light. Okay, I blamed her a little bit. So she ran the red light, but I'm thinking, okay, how did I attract this in my life in this particular moment? So I started looking at it, and I realized, that I kind of have some anger issues around other drivers on the road,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's right. I like to go, I like, it's like Jay Leno's always saying, get out of my way. So that's me, And
okay, I get it, Ricky Bobby. Go fast.
That's right. So, and they don't get out of their lanes, and they're anyway. So I said, okay, so that's what's going on. So I'm just a little impatient on the road, So I'm doing my best to make adjustments on that. It doesn't happen instantly, But then I said, okay, this happened. I pulled over. She pulled over, and she jumps out of the car, and she said, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I ran the red light. It's all my fault." And I said, "Okay." And I swear to you, like in 60 seconds, we were just kind of getting ourselves together. She was pulling over. I pulled over. She said, "Okay, I guess one of us needs to call the police." And so she's on the phone, and I look over across the road there, and there's a traffic control unit, one of those. It's not a car. It's one of these big trucks.
Right.
And so I just pointed to him, and he turned his lights on. I mean, within 60 seconds, he's there.
Yeah.
I couldn't have called AAA and got him there that fast.
No, definitely not.
And so the whole process was easier than getting a flat tire, I swear. It was like, because I let it be.
Yeah.
I let it be what it is. I recognize what's going on. I said, okay, now I got to fix this internally in order to straighten things out.
And that was great because a lot of times, we do get in the way of things that are supposed to be. Like we want to change things
Not
that
a lot
should be
of
what they are.
Always.
Yeah.
There's always, we're the only ones that can slow things down.
Yeah.
Period.
And just let it be what it is. So let's get into some tactics after the break.
Let's do that.
Do you need to sell your house? Well, our company will buy your house. We make the process very fast, very easy, and it's all cash. All you have to do is give us a call today.
We'll buy your house. Click 833willbuy.com. That's 833willbuy.com.
Or call 833-WILL-BUY.
Se habla español, llámanos, call us today.
Welcome back. It is Real Estate 360.
Yes, we are back. And I know we got a little deep, but it was necessary because really it's all, it's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's all choice. But we really want to give you some techniques and tactics, things that you can use if you have very little, or even if you have a lot and you don't want to use it, right?
Yeah, we're saying take action, and so we want to help you with what it is you do when you're taking the action and how to recognize these opportunities when they show up.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So wholesaling obviously is a great way to start if you don't have much. We know of very large companies that are still wholesaling using these tactics, where they don't want to put down the earnest money if they don't have to, so on and so forth. They're using their information, if you will, to go out here and make money.
Yeah.
And some companies, big companies, are doing 50, 60 deals a month. I don't want to work that hard, but there are people that do want to scale to that size, but they're doing it, with these tactics that we're talking about, generally, wholesaling and subject twos.
You said you don't want to work that hard, but you're working way harder than you would if you were doing strictly 30 wholesale deals a month by yourself.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I know.
That's for sure.
Because, you and I both have done 20, 30 wholesale deals a month on a pretty consistent basis.
Yeah.
And honestly, when you get the flow of it all, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, that is true. You know, a lot of we'll look at, if we're watching like social media right now, right?
Right.
And there's all these people that have, you know, these different techniques that they use or teach or share to do wholesaling. The ones that get me are the super technical ones. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, right.
When you have to when you have to incorporate all this technology into finding real estate. You know, I'm sure that there are ways to get that done, but you know, I don't want to, like the Craigslist scrub software they were selling, you know, a few years ago. I mean, you can do the same thing. I mean, you can very easily do it because you're just looking for specific data, right? Specific information you search for. I don't have to pay, you know, $1,000 for you to tell me how to do something that really costs no money, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it really costs nothing.
Sure.
You know, but that's what it is. I used to have a program I sold for $100, you know, how to start your own business in any state, you know, how to incorporate or organize your own business in any state. And I sold it, put it on, this was years ago, put it on a little CD and sold it for $99. And it sold, you know. I mean, I sold probably 20 or 30 of those a week.
Wow.
You know, and you know what it was? It was what I literally did was go to the Secretary of State in every state and download the information from the Secretary of State of what they would need to do to start their business in that state.
Right.
And I put it in little folders for each state and downloaded it and burned it onto the CD.
So this is everything you need to know on every single state in the United States of how to start a business for only $99.
That's correct.
Okay. That sounds like it's saleable.
It was. It definitely is. The point I'm trying to make is it was free information.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the world that we live in today, right? In the world we live in today, Google will tell you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. Now, you're going to have to sift through a lot of garbage to get it, to get what you really need to have. And some people want to just get straight to it. But things like that are simple. You know, how do I start a business in Idaho? It's going to say Idaho Secretary of State. It's going to be in the top 5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or, you know, now you're going to get LegalZoom and all that other stuff that pops up as well. But you have to, if you want to know something, do your own research.
Right.
You know, we have students that we work with that refuse to do research.
Yeah.
They refuse to do it. Or they'll do some of the research or hire people to do the research, and then when they don't get the outcome that they expected, it's whoever did the research's fault. You know, they were wrong. I was right. Yeah. But you've got to put in the work and be accountable. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to put in the work. You know, if you want to get out here and wholesale because you like wholesaling or you're just interested in wholesaling, you have to know that you're going to be doing direct mail. You're going to be doing flyers. You're going to be doing door hangers. You're going to knock on doors.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to be getting out there and you're going to talk to people. So if you're afraid of talking to people, if that's something you don't like to do, you got to get over it. You have to find a way to get over it.
Or you can joint venture with somebody who likes to talk. And then you can be the back guy doing all the internet stuff and posting on Craigslist and building websites.
That's right.
And say, hey, Myles, listen, I got these leads. I don't want to talk to these people. Will you take them?
Yeah. Well, you know what? There was a time, this was many, many moons ago, where I knew that I had to talk to people, but I didn't really like to talk to people.
Yeah.
So I didn't talk to people. I talked to myself. I talked to 3 people. Me, my shadow, and my echo.
Okay.
That's who I talked to. You know what I mean? There was no one else in the room. And then it just got easy to talk.
Yeah, that's right.
It just got easy to talk.
Can I tell you a story? I want to get us back here to specific techniques.
Let's do it.
And not so much techniques, but just an opportunity shows up. What do we do with it? You know, we've got all these creative methods. So let me tell you how I found this particular property. It's a very specific thing. So I'm at my networking meeting, which is USA Business Connect. It's a national operation where we do, networking meetings, and we have one chapter. We only have one chapter.
It's a national network,
right?
Headquartered in Alpharetta.
That's right. We have one meeting, and I'm still trying to figure out, how to make it national.
Well, no, you've already done it.
Yeah, well, that's true. I named it nationally.
That's right.
So, but anyhow, so I'm there, and I meet this guy, and we're talking, and he's interested in real estate. And then later he calls me. He said, "Listen, I got this lady who's got this house that she can't get rid of. She's trying to sell it." I said, "Tell me about it." And so he gave me the location. It's West End, Atlanta, and it's a nice little bungalow, completely renovated, on the market for $350,000. It's just sitting there. And in the meantime, her loan, which is with a hard money private loan situation, she's gone beyond the term, which is typically a 12-month term. So she's past that term, and so they've basically doubled her payment. And so it's just outrageous. It's over $5,000 a month for a $350,000 house. So the return on their investment's not bad.
Yeah, they must want to foreclose on that property.
They do. They just want her. They want the money, or they want the house or something.
Yeah.
But so I call her up, and I learn all this as I'm talking to her, and I find out that she owes about $260, $270 on it. It's worth about $350. I said, "Well, would you sell it for what's owed?" And she said, "Yes." Also, the other part of that story is she had it Airbnb'd, and there was some people hanging out next door. They weren't bothering anything. They're not doing anything, but they're just hanging on the porch, in the afternoon. So she got 3 bad reviews for security on Airbnb. So she can't rent it. She's got no cash flow out of it whatsoever. So
why didn't she just sell it?
Why doesn't she just reduce the price and sell it? I don't know. I didn't ask her that.
Yeah.
Because I said, well, I could get this and reduce the price and sell it.
That's right.
So, that's one option.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at it from that point of view. And it's just the ability to kind of step back and have a 40,000-foot view down on the terrain. You know what I'm saying? And looking at,
you're being strategic.
I'm being strategic.
That's right.
Exactly. I'm saying, okay, from a military operation, how would we approach this thing? All right, we want to flank them and come in on the side, or do this. The enemy, the project, is sitting there with no imagination. They're just, and they're stuck.
Yeah.
And they're out of ammunition.
Yeah.
So all we got to do is go in and capture the flag.
Yeah. I ran into a similar but different situation, and it's weird when you meet people that are willing to go down with the ship.
Right.
It
is weird.
It's because you're looking at this situation and you're saying, if you go into foreclosure, it's gonna be a lot more damaging than you just getting from underneath it right now.
Right.
So, long story short, there was someone who replied to one of our marketing. This isn't recent. This was in our last campaign.
Yeah.
And he was facing foreclosure. The house needed some work. He just didn't want to do the work, but he was behind, obviously.
Right.
And he was one of those Zillow watchers, that says his house is worth X amount of dollars.
Zillow watcher. Is that a meme?
It should be. It should be. But he thought his house was worth a lot more money than it was. He wouldn't take any offers, even though people were explaining to him, this is going to need a lot of work. Your house is not that house that sold for that amount of money. Let me show you. And he just refused to do it. And in short, he just said, you know what? I'll just let the house go into foreclosure because I'm not going to give it all away.
What's the difference?
Exactly.
Well, there is one difference.
Him.
he's got
in the equation.
He's got a really nasty thing on his credit after it goes into foreclosure.
Yeah, but even worse than that,
you know what it's called on there, right?
With the foreclosure?
Yeah,
yeah, but even worse
it's called
than that,
a foreclosure.
It's the stinking thinking. You know what I mean? It's terrible. I mean, he's always going to have it rough if that's how you're thinking. You need to get this thing out of there. Get it off the books, man.
That's right.
Regardless of what you have to do, get it off the books. It's not a matter of giving it all away. You got to save yourself sometimes. You know, and maybe you make $1 or $2 out of it.
Every now and then you have to sacrifice a pawn.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Or a bishop or a queen.
You are really thinking strategic today.
I am.
You are committed today. I love it.
It has to do, you know, with what, you know, the man is what he wears, you know, or whatever. What is that?
That's right. Well, let's take a break, man, and get back to this.
Hi, this is Sammy with Sammy Hadid Real Estate Keller Williams. Are you looking for a top producing agent who will look out for your best interests? Top dollar on the sale of your home, a well-negotiated contract, an efficient closing? Please call me at 305-978-4249. I'm more than happy to set up a consultation. I'll put together a proposal for you to net top dollar for your home, what it is that I'm doing to get all my homes sold. Then you can decide what's best for you. Again, I'll do whatever it takes to get your home sold for top dollar, and I promise you that I will protect your equity with my life. 305-978-4249. Sammy Hadid, Hadid.
All right, we are back. We are back. Thank you guys for sticking with us through that break. Steve.
Yes.
You know, this show has really been a lot about mindset, to be honest with you.
It has, hasn't it?
It's been a lot. And I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that because we always talk about this business, what we do as a lifestyle. We talk about that all the time. We know better than most people how important it is to be mentally there, to push yourself through the rough times. As an entrepreneur, you have to be able to do that. You have to be able to plan. You got to think about things that a lot of people that have a 9-to-5 just don't, and that's all they have.
Right.
They just don't really think about those things, you know?
Exactly.
Because they know next week or 2 weeks they have another check come. All they have to do is show up.
But you know, those people have bad days too.
They do. But it's the same for us. All we have to do is show up.
Right.
If we show up every day,
yeah,
we're going to earn.
Absolutely.
You know? So just kind of going back and talking a little bit about what we've been talking about and that whole mindset thing, you know, if you can find the joy in every day, just a moment, and you can just hold on to that regardless of what's occurring in your life.
Yeah.
You hold on to that joyful moment throughout the entire day, even into the next, you're going to find your way through anything.
That's right.
You're going to find your way through anything, and it will force you to show up because that's the mental mind state that you're putting yourself in.
Well, you know, going a little deeper, having that joy in your heart and your mind combined sends out a signal that's going to create a reflection in the very next moment. So then you get a joyous moment coming back to you.
Yeah. You
get evidence that's presented to you in your physical world of what's going on within you.
That's right.
If we can go a little deeper, like I suggested.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, man. You know, we sit back and I say we as in real estate investors, you know, we have these moments where, oh, we got to make some more money. Oh, it's this, it's that. I need to do this financially.
Yeah.
And as I was told, hey, listen, you need more money? Just go do another deal.
That's right.
You know,
go buy another house.
Exactly. It's not a matter of you not knowing how to do it. It's a matter of you getting off your hump to go do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's as simple as that.
And if we can drop down a little more in the depth of that.
Let's do it. You be the deep guy. I'll be shallow Hal over here.
Okay. No, no, we're both deep. We're just going back and forth. The action begins and ends with making a decision.
Yes.
You know, you can't be wishy-washy about it. You have to say, okay, now is the time I'm going to go find a house or another house or an apartment building or another building, or you just leave it wide open.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, what's next? I'm ready. You got to be ready, and you got to make that decision.
Yeah.
Because if you don't make a decision, now you're a man of double minds.
Mm.
So the universe doesn't know what to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
So you say, yes, I want it. Oh, but I don't know how. But I really want it. But where am I going to get the money? I don't know. And then you say, yeah, but I really want to live the lifestyle of the rich and famous. But I'm just, meek me, how, and I just don't know what to do. What's on TV?
Yeah. Yeah. The Real Housewives of Who the Cares.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. And we don't want to get caught up in what everybody else is thinking about what we think everybody else is thinking about us personally.
Right.
Because they're only thinking about you, what you're thinking about you, because it's all a reflection.
That's right.
And
like I think for a lot of people, that's a big thing because people want to be liked.
Yeah.
I think it's something that's in most people when we're born, I believe. There's only a few people that could care less, but you have to learn to care less.
That's right.
If you're worried about what people think of you, you shouldn't do anything. I mean, you're always going to have people that are looking down on you. Listen, the better you do, the worse that's going to get.
The quickest way to get people to like you is to like yourself.
Yes.
Because it's a reflection.
Yes.
It's
right.
like it's a reflection.
That's right. And don't worry about what the haters got to say.
What haters?
Listen, haters are fuel for your engine, man.
Those guys are just great entertainment from my perspective.
They are. You're doing great when you got haters. You are doing something. You're saying something out there. I'm telling you, you just keep moving.
Everything exists.
Yes.
In this moment. And so when you see quote unquote haters show up, they're still a reflection of what's going on within you because we're so vast that we just don't understand that. That's why when I got T-boned, my Buick got T-boned, to be very specific. That's right.
Say that,
I just happened to be in the car when that happened. And I didn't say, look out there.
Safe.
I didn't say, look out there. If it wasn't for so-and-so, I said, wait a minute, what's going on within me? So the haters is the same thing.
Yeah.
So what's in here that would cause that reflection? And I just take my attention off all that, put it on the things that I prefer, and they'll just kind of disappear into the fabric of the universe, into the ethers, into the nothingness. Because this is an illusion anyway, so let's just make it the illusion that we prefer.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. And when you fall into when you choose to believe that this is really all just an illusion and that you're basically in the Matrix.
Yeah.
You really do start to see the ones and zeros raining down, and you can make sense of it. I mean, you've heard me make reference to that on a few occasions because it's really the truth. Mm. When you can look at something and you can see it for what it actually is and not for what you want it to be, your life just changes.
It's totally neutral, though. Whatever we're looking at is totally neutral, and then we just assign the negative or the positive to it, whether we want it or we don't want it. So.
Did you get that? I wish we could rewind that one. Push the rewind button on that. That was deep.
That's why you should be listening on.
You got to go to the podcast, man. Spotify, Apple, iTunes, Google Play. Go to the website.
Yes.
You got to go to realestate360show.com. Engage with us because this is engaging. I don't know what you guys are doing at home or in the car right now, but I know that if you're listening to this right now, if you can hear the sound of my voice, you are right now in the car or at home going, amen, brother, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about because we're really doing this, man.
Yeah.
This is a real life for us. It's a journey, in every possible way. It's a journey of understanding who we are, what we want to do, knowing that we're constantly evolving, everything, our markets are evolving. It's always different.
Right.
And there's always a different way to do a thing. So you have to learn to adapt. You have to learn to adapt in life and in the market that we work in
That's
this
right.
real estate world. But it's cyclical. There's no time frame.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, but there isn't. It's all just an average. Well, this lasts this long, and this should last that long, approximately on average.
Right.
Yep, sure, that you can make sense of. It doesn't mean that a good time is going to last 7 years or a bad time is going to last 18 months. It could be 24 months, could be 6 months, could be 3 months. You never know.
Could be a week.
Exactly. So you just have to adapt. In our business, our adaptation right now is to make better offers. I mean, because of what the market is.
Right.
The market is slow. It's the end of the year. It always is. We're going into an election cycle. We have to make very specific types of offers.
Well, this situation, in terms of the markets and what's going on, can be viewed from two different points of view.
Well, share.
Well, the markets are slow. We're going into an election year. The values are down in certain of the areas, like the ones we're working in. Those are all negatives. Wait. That's one perspective. The markets are down. The values are down in the areas that we're in. We're going into an election year. Oh, that's a positive.
That's right.
Why? Because some people over there are going to be saying, oh, this is really negative, and they're going to try to unload their houses, or they're going to have problems and so forth. And if we're over here with a positive attitude, we're saying, how can we bring these assets and resources into our business, make a profit with them, and solve those problems?
That's exactly right. It's just like what we have available to us right now. I mean, it's the end of the year. People take off at the end of the year.
Yeah, they do.
Marketing goes way down, but it doesn't mean there aren't deals to be had out there. So this is the time to market. This is the time to plant your seed. I mean, if you look at it just from a historical perspective, from a human perspective,
right?
The winter solstice was a party.
That's right.
You know why?
No.
Because they knew now is the time to plant. Now's the time to plant your seeds so that we can reap the harvest in the summer solstice.
Right.
Which is in June.
Okay.
Right? So if you work hard now, if you market now, do deals now, you can have a really good summer.
I'm gonna do some quick.
That's the point I'm trying to make, right?
That's cool. I like good summers. Quick housekeeping. Our next seminar is how to make a living while you're building wealth with real estate. That's January the 18th. You will find all the information on realestate360show.com. Click there. It'll take you to an Eventbrite link. It's $20. We haven't raised the price yet. I keep pushing.
That's right.
But one day we'll be, at what it's worth. No, I don't know if we'll ever be that because it's absolutely priceless. And in addition to that, our next show we have Scott Bowen on with 5 Star Services as one of our guests, as our only guest, as a matter of fact.
That's right.
And we're going to talk about renovations, do's and don'ts, and anything to do with how to evaluate single-family home renovations.
That's right. So make sure you guys, again, go to iTunes, go to YouTube, Real Estate 360 Show, the podcast. Just subscribe, share, comment, just engage. I appreciate you guys watching and listening, and we'll see you on the next show.